Hey boys and girls, I hope you're all doing well. Try not to go insane in quarantine, and I hope you're trying to stay safe and smart, not getting sick. The world is making progress, trying to find better treatments for this coronavirus. There's more and more testing being approved, so we're going to be testing more and more people, which is good because supposedly the people that have recovered from this virus, they can go back to having a job again. Because, most of the people that get this stupid virus, they built up antibodies and they're essentially immune to it. So a lot of these people that recover from the virus can technically go back to working, so we can slowly but surely start bringing the jobs back. There may have been over 4 million cases so far, and a lot of people are dying, a lot of people are suffering, but it's not all bad news, because over 1.3 million people have recovered already, and that's just documented recoveries. A lot more people have recovered. I mean, the numbers aren't always accurate. If it says 4 million infections, it's always going to be like 10 times more than that. And the recoveries are pretty much the same. The deaths are probably not really much far off. But yeah, like 1.2 million of the 4 million people that got infected have supposedly recovered already. So most of the people are recovering, which means that the more people that recover and they go back to normal, and they've built up immunity to this virus, they can go back to working. So we can start, fulfilling a lot of these jobs, because a lot of businesses are going out of business. Tons and tons of small businesses are going out of business because there's a lot of these businesses that have already been struggling as it is. They've just been going month to month. They're not like all these big boys like Disney and Walmart and Target and all these big companies that have been around forever and they're not going anywhere. They can afford this. They don't even care. Even if they lose several $1 billion from this pandemic and they have to lay off a bunch of people and they close a bunch of stores and they have to limit all of their services for several months, it doesn't do shit to them. They're filthy rich. But all these small businesses that are barely like making it month to month, like those are the ones that are going out. All the small businesses are slowly being phased out from this virus. And that's just going to be some shit. Because there's going to be less competition. It's just going to be the big boys. We're just going to have the big boys in charge now. But the quicker this is over, the better. We can't rush out a vaccine, obviously, because it has to be proven to be safe and effective without any major bad side effects. It takes time. That time is mostly testing it on people and studying the long-term effects on if it's going to work or not. That's what takes the most time. I mean, they already have a vaccine. They've had a vaccine, but it's like they can't just rush it out. They can't just throw it out because they have to find out if it's going to work or not. They have to study any possible side effects. And then they have to mass produce it and they have to have it available for the world. We're going to have to eventually, have a vaccine for 7 billion people, assuming that the majority get the vaccine. But it's like, are we even really going to need a vaccine? Is this virus just going to burn itself out? I mean, nobody knows. We still know so little about this stupid virus. There's more and more treatment options that are being studied and developed that have shown to have positive effects in treating coronavirus. There's been a couple medicines that have already been out to treat other problems that it supposedly didn't work out for them. But for the coronavirus, apparently there's this one medicine that helps people recover 30% quicker. And it makes it less severe. So that's good news. I mean, we are making a lot of progress. We're making quick, good progress. And I'm hoping to see more progress. It's like, of course we're going to make tons of progress because we're in the middle of one of the nastiest pandemics ever. This is the nastiest pandemic that we've seen in the past 100 years. It's ridiculous. So of course, when pretty much most of the world is shut down, all the businesses are closed, everyone is forced to be antisocial, there's nothing to do. I mean, what else is there to do? So of course, the whole entire world is just gonna be contributing and trying to, research this stupid virus and try and figure out a vaccine, try and figure out effective treatment so we can put an end to this quicker. And another big reason why we're moving forward so fast is because the whole entire world is working together. This is how we progress. This is what I mean when the whole entire world works together, folks. We are working together. We're not making this all about money for once. We're all pitching in. You know how much funding we have to try and stop this coronavirus? Billions and billions and billions and billions have been put towards this stupid virus and research to try to figure out what the hell this virus is all about and to try to figure out treatment and vaccines. Like, the whole entire world is pitching in and we're all working together. That is why we're making progress so quickly. Like, the quickest that we should normally see a vaccine is like 4 or 5 years, but we may see a vaccine like by the beginning of next year. That is going to be a new record on how quickly a vaccine has been developed. Now, that may not necessarily be the best thing, because you can't rush something like this out. It has to be studied, it has to work. Otherwise, what's the point? It's all going to be for nothing. But still, like, at the rate that we're doing this, we're definitely breaking a lot of records doing this. And it's very impressive. And it just goes to show that if the world can stop being greedy and stupid and stop making everything all about money, and we can all pitch in, we can all work together, we can move forward so much quicker. We can move forward 100,000 times quicker than we would before if we just have the proper funding and we all work together. I can't stress this enough. I'm really hoping that by the time this war with this virus is over, this will be a wake-up call to the entire world. So hopefully we can be better prepared for the inevitable outbreak that's going to happen again, because this isn't going to be over. This is going to happen again. I feel like these people are driving through here on purpose just to interrupt my fucking video. Look at this. Completely empty parking lot. Why do you have to drive through here? Is there any reason behind that? Screw you. Oh, I'm losing my train of thought. But the whole point being is that this needs to be a wake-up call to the entire world. We were not prepared for this. We didn't seem to even give a shit. This was gonna happen. Outbreaks like this happen. New illness just jumps out and it spreads. This is just part of nature. It happens. Pandemics like this are gonna happen. And we weren't expecting it to be this bad. So obviously that's why we had our guard down. We didn't really care. We weren't aware that it was gonna be as bad as it was. But that's why we have to be prepared for these kind of things. Just in case it does end up being really bad, we can handle it. So the hospitals don't get overwhelmed. So we can have the funding. We can have already studied these illnesses and possibly even stopped it from spreading to begin with. We didn't do that with this new coronavirus, and that's why we're suffering, and that's why this pandemic is going to take a while. It's going to go on for probably at least the rest of this year. So any plans that anyone has had, for the most part, you might as well just cancel any plans that you had. This whole entire year of 2020, you might as well just pretend that it didn't happen. Let's just skip to 2021 already. It pisses me off because I had so much crap planned this year. I wanted to go to Kansas. I wanted to go to Colorado. I wanted to go to Stockholm. There's just so many places I wanted to visit this year. There's so much I wanted to do. And all of it is just, it's not gonna happen this year. It's bullshit. So it's like, we might as well just skip this year. Just pretend that 2020 didn't happen. Let's just jump straight to 2021. And then we can resume our normal lives. But whatever. Whenever this is all over, honestly, I hope that the whole world is actually studying and preparing for future outbreaks right now. We should be preparing now. Because, when this is over, we got to be ready for the next one. We got to be ready for a potential, another possible wave of coronavirus. We also have to be ready for the next pandemic. Because there's going to be more of this kind of shit happening in the future. It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. It's going to happen again. I'm not worried about when this happens again. What I'm worried about is are we even gonna give a shit? Are we even gonna bother to prepare for this next time? Because that is what I'm worried about. I really hope that we've learned our lesson from the stupid coronavirus. I really do. Stay tuned for more videos. See ya, pizza slice.